Good evening. So welcome to Ujima's first co-direct of the year. I am dropping our topics into the chat, mostly just to help me remember, but also it gives you a quick little preview. So there's actually quite a few things to talk about that I think are pretty exciting. And James and Paige, let me know if there's anything here you want to kind of jump in on and talk about yourselves. But first is we have an investment vote coming up. So super exciting. This will be our second investment vote. We're looking on the investment side and on deploying cash out of the Ujima Fund side to really ramp things up this year in 2022. So we're excited that we're going to start pretty early in 2022 with Dorchester Food Co-op. And we expect to send out an email with the investment opportunity memo and the ballot next week. Some of you were here for our presentation, our live Q&A that we did with Dorchester Food Co-op last month in December, where they walked through our credit memo with our new interim managing director, Jack Payton. And that was an opportunity to learn about some of the things that we look at when we're considering what type of an investment we'd like to make in a business and what would make a good investment. And so we learned about their management team, their financials, their future plans, their histories, or their history, I should say, and also where they were really strong in terms of standards. And so just as a reminder, the Ujima Fund invests in BIPOC businesses with positive social impact. So those are our two kind of very minimal screens. And then there are 36 minimum standards that a business has to meet to receive investment from us. And so we talked about where they were particularly strong on that. So we'll need a couple of things from everybody. Or I should say, we'll need at least one thing from everyone. So when we send out this email, that email will go to voting members. We will also send an email to Solidarity members where we will send our voting list and we will ask Solidarity members to sign up to contact at least one person via text, phone, or email to let them know that the vote has opened. And we would like everyone to take us up on this offer, again, to choose at least one person. We have around 400 voting members. Our quorum is 50% plus one. And we would like to be able to close the vote in 3 weeks. And so it's important for us that we really have a lot of momentum around this vote coming out of the gate. And so we will be looking to you all to help us build that momentum, get people excited, and get them to vote right away so that we can close it out in 3 weeks and so that we can get money to Dorchester Food Co-op. And just as a reminder, we will be recommending a $25,000 investment. I can't remember the rest of the terms, but I do remember the amount is $25,000. I think over 7 years, I think is one of the other terms. So I'll pause there to see if there are any questions, clarifications, reflections, feedback about this vote. All right. Oh, I see a hand. Luna?
Hi, yeah. In regards to who's being voted for, is that like something that Ujima decides to, like, people submit businesses that they know of? Yep. Or like how does it function? How does one like I have like 2 people in mind, like how would I go about doing that?
Okay, excellent question. So really quickly, we get investment candidates through our assembly process. And so far we've held, maybe 7 assemblies. And at those assemblies, we ask people to name businesses, and we ask, name businesses that you love, name businesses that you think we need in our communities that we don't currently have, and name businesses you want to replace. What we then do after that, and we just put them into a list, no questions asked. So there isn't any heavy mediation by Ujima staff. Then what we do is we then take that list and we will put it to Ujima members for a vote. And we will ask them to ratify the list as our official investment plan. So through that process, right now we have 3 official or formal investment plans. We have a Roxbury investment plan, we have a Dorchester investment plan, and we have a Mattapan investment plan. Across those 3 lists, there are 140 businesses. And so then what we do is once we have those plans, then we start reaching out to the businesses on those plans to see if they're interested in joining the Ujima Business Alliance, if they're interested in investment. So Dorchester Food Co-op is on the Dorchester investment plan. And I will find links to the investment plan so that you can see the businesses that are on there. So that's one of the ways, just through our assembly. Another way is if you join Ujima, if you take out a voting membership in Ujima, so that would be either a voting membership or a grassroots membership or a youth membership or a resident membership. When you finish your membership application, we send you an email that then prompts you to fill out your own personalized investment plan. And so I don't know if you've taken out a membership, but if you have, then you should see that kickout email. It's one of the first things I believe that we ask you to do because we want to get as many names from people as possible. So I would say 2 primary ways: that form when you sign up to become a member, and then just be on the lookout for when we have an assembly, because then at the assembly is then when we will ask people to name businesses. Thank you, Luna.
Thank you.
Thank you. So on that note, well, actually, I'm not at that part yet, but that's going to come up. The other update is you may remember that we had a real estate assembly. We started our real estate assembly in December. I think actually we kicked it off in November. And so the real estate assembly has 2 parts, which is primarily, one part is educational. So we linked up with quite a few partners. We linked up with Co-Everything, CFNE, Cooperative Fund of New England, Fenway Development Corporation, Somerville Community Development Corporation, Boston Impact Initiative, and a couple others that I can't remember right now, who offered educational sessions on different aspects of real estate investment and financing. So for example, in November, our political and financial education workshops were an investment game, impact investing game from Boston Impact Initiative. So if that sounds intriguing, you're just joining us, or you're just joining us and you're wondering what that was like, that is on our YouTube channel. So you can go to our YouTube channel and check out what that game was like. We also, Cooperative Fund of New England did a session on what community ownership looks like. So what it looks like for community members to acquire and control property. Very good session. Again, that's on our YouTube page. And Co-Everything did a real estate one-on-one session. So really kind of fun, role-playing, accessible session on what's involved in real estate investing. The second part of the real estate assembly continues this month. And that is where we are now putting in real estate investment opportunities in front of members. And so we have a first one that's now on the site. And let me just make sure I have the right site, just a second. But this is a crowdfunding opportunity with Co-Everything, sorry, and with Travis Lee, who is a local developer. This is not an opportunity that the Ujima Fund is going to invest in, but Co-Everything is a partner and that we work with and collaborate with pretty well. And Travis Lee is a developer that we've worked with together in the past. So we did tell them that we would make sure people did know about this opportunity. It's a crowdfunding opportunity. So if you go to that site, you can see it now, it's open. And so we definitely do think, people who have not previously had an opportunity to think about real estate investing should check it out. And they are billing themselves as the first kind of crowdfunding effort in Boston on the real estate side. And so that's pretty exciting as well. So definitely check that out. We will be adding opportunities over the next about month, I would say month and a half. And those are opportunities that the Ujima Fund will expect to invest in. And so that's coming. So also continue just to go back to that site to get updates and to see all those opportunities. And we're planning what the vote is going to look like on those opportunities as well. And I'll just pause for any questions or reflections or feedback. All right. Still on this vote theme, there's another vote we'd like to open up, and I think this is also related to your question, Luna, a little bit. This is on a new investment list. So the process that I described a little earlier, in terms of kind of compiling these lists of people who name businesses, we actually have, I would say, I'm trying to see it in my head, maybe 7 or 8 lists total. 3, actually, I think we have 7 or 8. 3 have been formally ratified as plans. So that means we still have 5 that we still need to put before members and ratify as an investment plan. And what that does, it just puts more businesses into our possible pipeline that we can approach, and we can talk to them about joining the Business Alliance and seeing if they would like investment from the Ujima Fund. So we would like to open up a vote pretty soon on a new investment list. We haven't decided what that list is yet, but we also just want to just make sure we start talking about it now, so that when that vote comes, you all are ready. And we are looking to open up that vote pretty soon. We want to, of course, get the Dorchester Food Cooperative vote out of the way quickly, and get that finished first. But do start to prepare yourself for looking at a new list of businesses to be able to add new investment candidates to our investment plans. And I'll just pause for any questions or feedback. Okay. Our next topic I talked about at the top of the meeting, but it's worth just mentioning again really quickly. So this month is Reflection Month for Ujima. January is Reflection Month. And so our political and financial education workshops will be our member team peer learning series that invite all member teams to join us each week to talk about the successes and challenges of collective work. We did this last January. It was a new practice that we started last January. I find it very informative. So even as we have our staff observers that join the member teams, just to stay abreast and make sure we're in the loop, and we have our conversations at the staff level about what's happening with the member teams. I have found that I've learned new things about the member teams during that process that are educational and informative. So again, just encourage everyone to show up to hear from their fellow member team members about what 2021 was like for them and what the successes and what the challenges were. Next week, we're hoping to hear from the time banking team and the study team. The following week, we will hear from the anchor institution team. And then the last week of the month, we will hear from the arts and cultural organizing team, who have all, I would say, kind of develop their own identities. So I think it is neat for them to hear from each other. And I'll pause for any questions or reflections. Luna.
Okay, me again. How does one get involved with arts and cultural organizing?
Oh, perfect. So arts and cultural organizing is actually meeting after this, that member team. So you can just stay on the Zoom, and you will be connected in with the team. Okay. Also, I'm going to go ahead. I dropped in the link earlier to the directory. I'm going to drop it in again, because in that directory should also be contact information. So it should also you should also be able to find the Google group, so that you can kind of join the Google group, for example, and people can reach out to you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Luna.
Thank you again.
Of course. This next topic, this is our BIPOC only meetings. James, do you want to talk about this?
For sure. Hi everyone, James. So in the past we have sort of played with the sort of a practice of having sort of Black folks only meetings, as it relates to just like sharing news about our work, and I think our intention is to really just to create space for Black and Brown folks to continue to like build with us for this work, considering that we're centering them in how we're thinking about this new economy. And so recently, we've heard continued interest in really establishing a space for BIPOC folks, and so we have been like thinking about it for some time, and recently decided that next month, with on the second week of the month, it'll be like a reoccurring monthly practice. Will be like our BIPOC only space. And so, if you are interested in sort of participating in that space, you've been like interested in that, I encourage you to come and hang with us during that that event. So yeah, Nia, is there anything else I should add?
That's it. So yeah,
Okay.
so as James, thank you so much, James. As James mentioned, we've given a preview of this before, but now the time has come. It'll be launching next month. Just want to quickly backtrack a little bit and just say, Paige just dropped in the chat the application for the micro learning pod facilitator role, and this is for the arts and cultural organizing team. So just want to draw your attention to that. And that's one of the things that will be talked about in the arts and cultural organizing member team meeting. So the arts and cultural organizing member team has a really cool micro learning pod set up that they do. Yeah, this is an opportunity for anyone who has gifts, skills they'd like to impart. The deadline is January 15th. You can sign up to be a facilitator, and it is a paid opportunity. It's a 3-month commitment that people are making, so once a month for 3 months. On that note, as just furthering the BIPOC only meetings, I think it's also a good idea just to talk about what our topics are looking like in the upcoming months. And so I believe we are going to try to put out some type of calendar, some type of like winter, spring calendar. We're just trying to come up with a neat name for it first, and then we're going to put it out. But just to give you a quick preview, the topic for February is going to be money. And so, we use money, we talk about it, it's a thing. And, I think there are definitely moments where we kind of sit and think about it. And it's not actually quite clear all the time what money is. And so we thought this would be a great topic for February. And we have a couple of really cool experts in our area that we can tap on that. And so our financial and political education workshops will be about money. In February, March, the topic will be racial capitalism. April, the topic will be Black recreation, which I'm really excited about. So that's pretty broad umbrella. We'll talk about it a little more as we get closer. But I think that's a pretty cool topic. And definitely James and Paige, jump in if I get anything wrong, because I'm trying to do this from memory. So I know that was April. I think May is Black archives. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. May is Black archives. And then I believe June is when we do our kind of like summer learning series. And so June and July, last summer, our summer learning series was participatory planning. The summer before was cooperative work. So our summer learning series for June and July this year will be degrowth. So we're looking forward to just kind of really just nerding out and walking out and having fun all at the same time. So again, we'll put out a nice calendar for you to reference, but just wanted to give you that quick preview as well today. And then this is our last update. We have 2 new programs that I'm excited about. One is our translocal membership program. And this is something that we've developed because we get a lot of questions and calls and requests from all over the place about the Ujima model. And so people will contact us. They want to know about kind of the model as a whole. They want to know about a specific piece. They want to know about the fund, or they want to know about our assembly process. And it's not super manageable. So a couple of years ago, we started to think about just a better way to manage the requests and kind of sort through what we are able to answer, or are not able to answer, what we want to answer, what we don't want to answer. And we had kind of like two primary buckets that we put the request into. So one was a bucket where people were just kind of curious, maybe it's more intellectual, or there are just some questions. And so that was kind of one bucket that we have. Another bucket that we had were people who are a little more in the space of being ready to create something. And so if they're reaching out to us, that's because they see a real need for something like Ujima where they are, and they want to be pretty active in bringing that about where they are. And what we said was that second bucket, we wanted to really support, because if we had fellow community members in other places who were seeing a need, that need is coming from some type of crisis usually. So we formed Ujima with displacement and with racial wealth gap and poverty as a background. And so, thinking it's likely the same story in other places where we have people who are reaching out to us and who are wanting to create something where they are. And so there's some urgency. And so we want to have a role in really kind of working with other communities and actually getting something off the ground and doing more than just having a conversation with us. And so we developed this frame of a translocal membership where we would essentially kind of we're making a commitment to this community that has reached out to us to help them actually do something concrete and get on their way to creating something like Ujima. So we have our first new translocal member, that's Bronx Cooperative Development Institute in Bronx, New York. And so we'll be announcing that more formally pretty soon. And what this membership program looks like, and this leads into our next topic, is they will be teaming up with Ujima on quarterly office hours. And the quarterly office hours is a program that we created to deal with that first bucket. And so those will be office hours that we will publicly hold, where we can now say to people, if you have questions, just come to our quarterly office hours where we can kind of answer some questions to a whole group of people at once, rather than try to accommodate requests one by one. So also really excited to be able to do that, because it also, I think, gives us a more regular, kind of more organized way for us to share our learnings publicly as well. So with this translocal membership, our translocal members will join us for these quarterly office hours. 1 hour will be focused just on Ujima, and it'll be kind of like an FAQ hour. So we definitely, there's definitely a pattern with the things that people want to know about Ujima. And so 1 hour will be focused on that. The other hour will be in partnership with our translocal member. And that's where we will just very kind of publicly out loud talk about challenges. So we'll just kind of tackle a problem together for each of our orgs. And we'll also just kind of share a learning or a success or a victory together for each of our orgs. We have not yet set the date for these quarterly office hours. We will set them pretty soon, so expect that we will have the dates for each of the sessions set before the end of the month. So really excited about these two programs. And when we announce the quarterly office hours, definitely feel free to circulate them, and just to circulate them to people in your networks. If you know that there are people that have been wanting to kind of reach out to us and pick our brains, or reach out for some thought partnership, or reach out just to kind of learn a little more about some aspect of Ujima, the quarterly office hours is where that can happen. In addition to Bronx Cooperative Development Institute, there is another Ujima peer that is considering becoming a translocal member. So hopefully we'll hear from them pretty soon, and we'll be able to announce that as well. And so I'll pause here for any questions or any feedback on this bit. All right, I see a message in the chat. All right, and we got a message in the chat. Abby, love this idea. Thank you so much. Really excited about it. So yeah, really, I definitely am really kind of looking forward to the office hours, and just looking forward to our ability to kind of deepen our relationships with peers outside of Boston. And on that note, that closes out this month's co-direct. So I will now stop the recording